If editing is what's keeping you from posting YouTube videos, this is for you. I'm giving you my easy 4-step system that will have you editing in less than 5 minutes. I used this same system when I taught myself how to edit 5 years ago when I started posting IGTVs to Instagram, way before Reels. And I know about this system because I used it when I was a reporter. My photographer and I sometimes had less than 30 minutes to turn a story. We had to plan it, record it, and edit it in less than 30 minutes. And the editing had to take the least amount of time. So the format we use is something we called look lives, because even though we were recording this and putting it to tape, we were pretending we were live, which meant whatever was recorded is whatever was going to be turned in, mistakes and all. Now, the reason this is the system I use to teach myself how to edit, other than the fact that there's barely any editing involved at all, is because there is something that happens to our minds when we tell ourselves we're going live even if we're not. We're tricking ourselves to be a little bit sharper, a little bit more on our game. So we are less likely to mess up and we are more likely to sound conversational. But hold up, it's not gonna happen just like that. There is a few things you have to do before you hit record if you want the magic to happen. Just like when you go to plan a road trip and you either map out the way that you're gonna get there or you use a Maps app to save you time, you are going to want to map out your video to save you time in editing. I break my video roadmap into 3 parts, and the first part is my intro. This is one of the few parts that I actually write out verbatim. That first sentence, I want to make sure I'm saying everything right, because if I can't get people to want to watch my video in that first second, then it's going to ruin my chances of YouTube sending my video out to more people. And a simple way to do this is to take the title of your video and repeat it right when you start recording, or reword it. So you are going to need to know what the title of your video is before you start recording. The reason this is so important is because if that title got them to click on the video, then what you're going to say is going to tell them, oh yeah, this is the video you just clicked on. I am going to give you what I promised in that title. Then I'm going to preview what they're going to get them excited, to let them know there is value in this video. And then I'm going to break down my main point into my bullet points of the video. Then under the bullet points, I will take note of any stories, analogies, or examples I want to give under that point. And sometimes I will write out the entire story just so that my brain can start to organize my thoughts and I can figure out what I need in that story, what I don't need. But I'm not going to memorize this and try to copy what's inside my notes app. Then my third part is the very end of my video. I am also going to write that out like I write out the first sentence, because I want to make sure I don't make it obvious that the video is ending, and I want to make sure I'm giving a clear call to action. We want people to go watch another video of ours or go click on the link in the comment below. Now, the planning part done, but you're not recording yet. Can't record yet because your mind is not ready to record. Now we need to marinate on what we just put in our roadmap. I might start talking to myself in the shower while I'm getting ready. Then before I record, I might start talking to the camera, looking at my bullet points, practicing a little bit. This is so important because it's not only going to help you recall the information, it's also going to help you get comfortable. And then when we go to record, it's not going to be so hard for us to do this in that one take and then be done. Now it is time to record, and I'm going to give you 2 ways that you can do this. When I first started, hi, it's Virginia. Today I want to tell you, I only did the sit in one location version of this system. But then eventually I took it up 1 notch. It's not going to require a whole lot more, but it is going to make your video a lot more interesting, which is breaking your video up into sections and changing locations. If I was going to do this version in this video, I could talk to the camera in the beginning, sitting at my desk while I'm talking about the scripting portion of this video. Then maybe I'm going to now talk about recording. So I'm going to move over to another area and I'm going to hold up my tripod and be setting up my tripod while I'm talking to the camera. There's a trick behind this. When you are holding something in your hand or when you are doing something with your hands, you are automatically going to feel more relaxed because now you're doing an everyday activity that you're used to doing. And that makes sense because that prop has to do with me recording the video. And then my last section of my video, maybe I am now in another room with my laptop talking to you about editing. This is going to make your video more interesting without you having to put anything on it. Text, B-roll, which is video on top of your voice. Just you going to different locations, holding props that are related to what you're talking about is going to make your video more interesting and you more relatable. But you don't have to do that. We can just sit in one place and we can record. We're going to have our notes with us in case we need to look over and look back. It's okay if you have to look down and say, all right, my next point is, and then you look at your bullet point and then you talk. That's going to make you look more human and less robotic than if you were just staring at the camera and never looking at your bullet points, which is going to stress you out because you are telling yourself there is no way you can look down. And that's just not true. I've got mine right here. A couple other tips while you're recording. First of all, before you start talking in your clip, hit record, then smile, then start talking. This is going to help you in editing, but it's also going to help you with your thumbnail because now you can take a screenshot of that and use it as a thumbnail. And then the next thing you're going to do is before you start talking, you're going to say a person's name. It doesn't matter whose name, but it does help if you can picture the person when you say their name. And you're going to say this name, pause, and then start talking. And this is going to help you get your regular conversational voice you use when you talk to one person. So if I was to do that at the beginning of this video, it would look like this. Sarah, is editing holding you back from posting videos? I've got a system that'll have you editing in less than 10 minutes. See how I sound conversational? It's time to edit. You are going to be blown away at how simple this is. We're going to use CapCut today on my phone, but you can actually download a free version of CapCut on your computer if you don't want to use your phone. First thing you do is you select New Project. Then you're going to pull in the videos that you recorded in the order that you want them to be. Add. So simple. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the first clip. And then I'm going to hit split. I'm going to tap the part on the left. I'm going to delete it. So now my video starts right when I am starting to say the first word. I go to the end of that clip. I'm going to end it right after my last word. Tap clip, split, delete. Next, same thing. Tap, split, tap, delete. Ending it. Tap, split, delete. Tap, split, delete. I'm taking out all the pauses in between the clips so that there is not what we call dead air because we want that to just be concise. Okay, tap, split, delete. Then I want to make sure I highlight the very last clip. And now I am going to delete that because that's the CapCut logo. So if you want to add text, that's so simple. All you're going to do is hit text and then you're going to hit add text. And now you can enter what you want it to say and you can move it around on the screen. And that's it. My video's done. And we did that in what? Less than a minute. All I have to do is export it. Now I've got it ready to upload on YouTube. If you like this video, you will like my YouTube program. Not only do you get recorded tutorials and lessons, we also meet every week and we have routine challenges to help you implement what you learn. Our next challenge starts on Monday. If you want to learn more, click the link below.